Hello, welcome back. I am so excited to finally be back for another episode of Champions of the Fae. Um, I'm also slightly terrified because we were told, and I quote, gnarly stuff is coming in the area that we're going to, and we got leveled up to 10, which I'm sure is an indicator that it's all going to be very safe and not deadly at all. So I'm excited to see whatever that happens to be. Before we jump in, I'm going to say a few words about sponsors, which I'm going to throw into chat here. Fundamental RPG. It's a simple D20 system that's not tied to a genre, so you can use it to play anything from high fantasy to sci-fi and everything in between. It also doesn't have like a license or contract that takes 20 to 25% of anything that you make with it. So that's another reason to go get it. Not naming any names. But you can pick that up on Amazon or at my coffee store, which there are links there in chat. Also, I am a professional GM, so I run games through Ravenflight Games over at Start Playing Games. There's the link to that over there in the chat as well, if you would like to join a campaign that I run. Over there is a new game starting up on Thursday that's going to be really fun, so you can go check that out. And then finally, we are affiliated with Die Hard Dice. So if you use the code BLACKFEATHER over at dieharddice.com, you can get 10% off. That is it for sponsors, but I do want to say a quick shout out to Children and Champions of the Fae, which is a supplement for D&D 5th edition that we've used for this campaign, and it's really cool, so you should go check that out. I think that is everything, so we're going to introduce everybody, and then we'll jump right in. So we'll start at the top left with Anna. Tell us a little bit about Ilyana and yourself.
Hey there, I am Anna, aka Archival Does Funny Most Places on the Internet, queer and trans advocate, museum worker, and TTRPG streamer and podcaster. Find me most places on the Internet, Archival Does Fun. And I'm playing Ilyana, shrug of the shoulders, whoever she is. We've seen a lot of faces for her throughout this, but the party thinks she's the princess of the summer court, and that's what we'll go with. Undercover princess.
Awesome. Next, we've got Ian. Tell us a little bit about Marosha and yourself.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? I'm Ian. You can find me on all socials at your boy Big, which is YABOIBIG. And I play Marosha, the half-orc barbarian with a splash of rogue now, which I'm excited about. And yeah, no, honestly, at this point, I don't really think he knows what he's doing. But we're down for the ride, so we'll see what happens.
Awesome. Next, we've got Par. Tell us a little bit about Gren and yourself.
Hey, I'm Mr. Parr. I play Gren Vicars, a sort of a monk cleric multi-class who I've just started calling that agent now. I don't know why that's the term, but apparently all my monk cleric multi-classes will now just be agent of something. And he's an agent of Lucin, which I think was revealed last episode, who is a god who's currently exiled. So we'll see where that goes.
Awesome. Next, we've got M. Tell us a little bit about Ben and yourself.
Yeah, I'm Emily. You can find me at Timberdoodles on Twitter. I'm a digital artist, and I play Ben, a human artificer who is not from the Feywild, and has gotten caught up in this and is trying to find a way to get back home.
Awesome. Looks like I'm next. I'm Raven. I'm a professional game master and game designer. I'm playing Othi, who is a halfling paladin / ranger / fighter now. Mostly paladin, though. She is basically a tank by day and a therapist by night. She's a lot of fun to play, and hopefully won't have to put the tank to too much of the test tonight, but we'll see. But that's me and my character. Next, we've got Zan. Tell us a little bit about Varen and yourself.
Yeah, I'm Zan. I'm in Xanadu TTRPG most places. I do a few things, this and that, a lot of real cool stuff that I will talk about when this is over. And I am playing Varen, who is, sovereign of the Grove of Hungers, delegator of a task of the Grove of Hungers, generally a nice, well-adjusted forest whore that's doing great things. Very kind.
Well-adjusted forest horror may be one of my favorite phrases of all time now. That was amazing. Next, we've got Andy. Tell us a little bit about this really cool world and your really cool self, and then take it away.
Hey, I'm Andy, or Andrew Martinez. You can find me on Twitter at Martinez Tweets right now, as long as it exists. I'm a TTRPG DM and player and science educator and other stuff that we'll get to in a little bit. Also, made up the Fae realms that we're in right now. And they're in a bit of a mess, actually, which is kind of where we're going to pick up right now. You all have encountered each other and found your way into the realm of Nymphindor, where you learned a little bit about what was actually going on. Met a couple of important players. They met the Mouse King a little bit ago, and on your way back, encountered a carbuncle named Avery, who introduced themselves and told you a little bit more about what was actually going on. They were sent by the Queen of Cats from the realm of Catheldon to help you specifically either, well, figure out what's going on and get into the middle of it. And they really followed your lead and are ready to dive in and see what's happening in the realm of Ehib, where we will pick up in just a moment. And a lot of you spent the night at the Southern Star, where you gained a couple of new tools and had a long rest, leveled up a little bit. And before the night falls and we move into the realm of Ehib, if there's anything else that any of you, Ileana, would like to do before you go to sleep, now would be a great time, and then we'll jump back in.
Yeah. I haven't, after we decided where we're going, I haven't answered the last message I received, so I need to send one. So I will head a little ways away from camp to where I can't be overheard and hold out my hand and wait for one of my little moths to arrive.
And within a minute or so, you have your messenger.
I'll hold it close, and I'm sorry I can't answer the call for court. The mission we're on is too urgent. Heading to Ehib to try and figure this out. I need you to ensure that Princess Lorelei is seen in court. I'm using her face to motivate these sellswords. She'll need an alibi when this is over. And I'll send it off.
And with that, it takes off. And you watch it fly off into the night sky of Nymphindor as it disappears among the stars and constellations that you see above you. As you head your way back to the Southern Star for a night's sleep. Is there anything else anybody else would like to do tonight? As you find your lodging back at the Southern Chateau, and more restful actually than last time. You weren't assailed by anybody or talked to really by anybody. It seems very quiet here now at the Southern Star. But that's okay with you. As you wake up and head off, Avery alongside you towards the realm of Ehib. And it takes a little bit of your morning. The sun is up and the sky is clear. As you've been walking for an hour or so, but always seeing off in the distance the shimmering wall that separates these two realms. As it gets ever closer, you find yourself now face to face with this massive, clear, but opaque in ways, shimmering, moving, golden, ethereal wall that, as far as you can tell, goes as high up as it needs to and as far away as you can see. Through the wall itself, you can see that there's plants, a lot of them. Trees, big, small, water, You can't quite see anything else, but you know that this is a different place over there. Ninfandor is known for its rolling fields and tall grasses, and this is clearly different. As you all stand before the wall, what would you like to do?
Is there a door? This is Marisha asking to the group. Did anyone see a door or anything? I guess to where we can approach, or how do we manage
Just
this?
walk through. Be aware
Just
of the
walk.
be aware of the resonant magical effects that Ahib might have, but you just walk through.
As Avery looks up at you, have you never been over to a different realm before? Were you always in Ninfandor? You're just kind of like, now they're all different, but yeah. Who's first?
I guess I can go through first, and Oathie kind of pokes the shimmering sort of wall thing with her hammer a little bit. Like, it's still not getting used to this. And then just sort of moves right through.
I will go through with Oathie because I want Oathie's bonus on saving throws.
It's fair.
Absolutely is. And everybody can. How big is that room?
5 feet, I think, or 10 feet. One of the two. I can let me double check. 10 feet.
Okay. Well, if everyone packs together, as you all move through, it's an odd sensation.
Bearhead is actually going to hang back just a second. I hope this won't get out of range, but it might.
Okay.
And as we get onto the close to the barrier where it's visible, Baron will stop and go, "Hello, Dark Forest. We meet again. I will not run this time. Varen will win." And we'll enter.
All right. As all of you make your way into the swamp realm of Ahib, I need you all to make a Constitution saving throw.
Good call, Anna.
What is your
No.
Here we go.
What's the bonus we get?
It's a +2 bonus.
Oh, please.
Oh,
Ooh,
sweet.
I see a lot of greens, but they're not all on the right side.
15.
Okay.
I got a
Um,
19 with the +2. I think I'm
all
okay.
right.
Go for that.
So we have Maroshi got 19.
Yeah, but the Oathie's +2.
Okay.
I think it was.
Excellent. So it looks like both of you. Oh, is that with the +2 or without the +2 for that 12, Oathie?
That is with the +2.
Okay. As you all travel through, the wall itself is an odd sensation. It feels kind of like walking through a viscous layer of air. It's not quite liquid, but it's not the same air you were just walking through. And as you move through, it kind of feels like the magic sticks to your body a little bit. And as soon as you move through and get to the other side, you are immediately hit with heat, with humidity, with this feeling of something crawling on your skin, with this tangible toxin in the air that you all don't see but feel around you. This place is, if any of you have ever been to Ehid before, which, have any of you ever been to Ehid before? Those of you who have, yeah, it looks like Viren, Ileana.
Could I just say I have?
Yeah, fine. You've been around for a little bit. Those of you who have been here, it is worse than it used to be. You were expecting something that was uncomfortable, but this is a lot to fight off. Some of you are able to. unfortunately. Ben, Othi, and Grant.
Question.
Yeah.
Since this
What's
is
up?
a toxin, would this be considered a poison effect?
This would be considered a poison effect.
Awesome. I get advantage on those.
Ah, wonderful. In that case,
Let me give it another try here. 24. That's so much better.
perfect. Okay, then Othi excluded. Ben and Grin, as you exist here in this realm, you feel that your body is just not accepting this environment that you found yourself in. And currently you are feeling sick and slower, and currently are under the effects of the poison condition. Now, as long as you are any heal, you have the ability to re-roll this, you take a rest. But as far as right now, well,
Do Ben and or Gren mention that they're not feeling well after being in here?
I think considering my crit fail, I think Ben probably looks visibly unwell.
Hey, Ben, you're not looking so hot. Would you like some help with that?
A little too warm, actually. What you yeah, that would be. And he kind of pauses for a minute. Great.
Yeah, I can help you with that. Othi's gonna do lay on hands, spend 5 points of that to neutralize a poison affecting another creature.
Oh my god.
Sorry, what did Grin say?
For Gren, I don't think he says anything just yet, but he's a red hobgoblin and he turns a shade of purple.
Oh goodness, yeah. Othi's gonna be like, Grin, you okay there, bud?
It appears I've been inhibited by some foulness.
Oh goodness. Would you like some help?
Yes, please.
Oh, okay. I got you. Here, let me just put my hand on your shoulder here, and same thing. Spend 5 more points to neutralize a poison effect.
all right. And the momentary awful feeling that the two of you just were experiencing with the help of Othi is now gone. But you remember it. You feel it. And Gren, you know that you've maybe dealt with this before, but this is much, much worse than you remember. Ileana, as you start to just take a cursory glance around, something odd catches your eye. As a few trees away, up in one of the branches tucked out, you see a doll. Small, ragged, just sitting there. It looks like it's aimed in your general direction as far as its eyes go, but currently it's just sitting in a tree. And you're the only one that catches this. As you all have moved through and are now, for some of you, ankle deep, knee deep, or even waist deep in swamp water. As the ground itself slowly is just sinking beneath your feet. You look around and there are some spots that look more dry than others, but a lot of this place, compared to Nymphador, which had solid ground and grass, moving through now you are very clearly in a different place. And turning around, you can still see those rolling hills behind you, but not in front of you. Currently, you are on the Swamp City Hill.
Last chance to turn back.
And will do no such thing.
Yeah, we came this far.
I think it's best if we keep moving so we don't sink. And I will kind of pull a scarf up over my face from the smell. We have something watching us up in the trees.
Oh, Good. This keeps getting better.
Do we need to deal with it?
No, we're here to join the Primal Court, remember?
Yep.
No sense.
Classic Ian.
Boys.
Oh, I forgot. Othie's got a Mastiff mount, so Othie's probably on a Mastiff going through this.
Just trudging its way.
Yeah, that's a very different
I
visual.
forgot about that.
It's very good.
I was gonna ask if Othie wanted to hitch a ride. I was just put you on the shoulder, but you're good.
Yeah, the poor dog. Yeah, Othie's probably. I mean, I know it's like a magical dog, but still, Othie's like, patting him on the neck, like, "You okay? You smell anything weird?" My God.
All right. As you're just heading into the heart of the hib, moving forward. Okay. As you all start moving, trudging through the muck and the water, finding some areas where there's ground and rocks to jump on, roots that are sticking out. It is gross here. And the water itself, as you start to move through it, you can tell isn't the same water. It is murky and dark. It doesn't seem like it's as contaminated as water that you've seen before, as you are not being negatively affected actively. But it is very different in where it was. As you walk and move through the swamp, Liana, you do notice that while you don't see this thing actively move from its perch to a different one, this doll is not leaving. And every now and then you start to look up and it's up on another tree, sitting perfectly still. But you can tell it's the same one.
As we're walking, I will just kind of softly to the party. I guess this is the time for big swings, isn't it? And I'll stop and turn and look up at the doll. Seek an audience with the Primal Court.
As soon as you acknowledge that this thing is here, it immediately jumps up, jumps off the tree, and bolts. And you can see that it is currently running over the water. It does not seem to be affected by what's going on here. If you are following, it is on the move.
I could chase it down, but I don't want to leave everyone behind. That seems to be the direction we should head in.
Yeah, I'm fine to run as fast as we can.
It is leading us into an ambush. We should be ready.
Adventure awaits. Let's go.
Okay.
Yep.
As this thing is surprisingly quick, and you are all moving through not the easiest terrain. This can be one of two things. We can have somebody make a head off this challenge. This is going to be a survival check, or we could do a group check. How are you feeling about your survival? Does someone want to take the lead, or does everyone want to give this a shot?
I've got a +5 in survival. I can do it unless somebody has better.
+6.
I have
There you go.
+9.
Oh, hell yeah.
I have a +7.
And I have 3. So let's sit this one on out.
All right.
I do have +9, but do we really want to bet on one of my rolls?
It'll be fine. It's fine.
Now,
Yeah,
with the
mine's-
groups out,
Mine's
this
a
one will be at
0,
advantage.
At
Go ahead,
advantage.
and as you're trying to follow this doll as it sprints away, go ahead and roll me a survival check with advantage, please.
Come on. +9. 16?
Okay. As you all follow this doll as it moves through the swamp. It is surprisingly quick, and all of you who are also just as fast sometimes just lose track of it. But you always know which direction it's heading in, and whether or not it's touching the water or getting wet, it is still leaving a little bit of imprints. And Grin, you're able to follow these little footprints. Unfortunately, you do lose sight of it, but not of its tracks. As you kind of start to follow these a little bit more through the swamps, sometimes you lose track of it, but it looks to be that it is heading down a particular drier path. As you know which direction it went, down that direction. And to the side of you, there's water, more swamp. And Ileana, as you are also moving through, you notice that there's a creature that is off to the side, and it looks like it is already perceived you all. It's just looking, and it looks to be a large, green-skinned humanoid-ish. It has a large, massive, mossy beard and hair. It looks much larger than any of you, even you, Viren. As currently it is peering off at the distance, but it looks just like it's slowly walking towards your direction.
As I notice it, I'll just kind of motion over to it as we're passing. Keep eyes on it, but I don't think we should attack unless it does first.
I think as we're going, Varen's maybe noticed that we were following it pretty intently, and we've slowed our pace to follow the tracks now. But Varen's gonna stop and turn to what's the plant around here? Are we looking behind you?
Yeah, so very much like that. There's a lot of these tall, skinny plants. Some of them are a little bit larger. There's ferns, there's other smaller things in the undergrowth, but very similar to what we have back here. A lot of dead plants too, a lot of sticks, fallen trees and logs, but there's definitely a lot of trees. They're not as lush as maybe some of the other plants that you've seen before, but they are alive, at least as far as you can tell.
Then Varen's gonna stop at a big one with some Spanish moss hanging off, and it's going to stop and kind of brush off the bark for a second.
Hello, cousin. We seek an audience with the primal court. Where can it be found?
And I will be speaking that in arboreal, the tree language, using the champions of the Fae supplement. We got what was it?
I love this.
Arboreal affinity. So we can speak to trees as if we shared a language.
All right. You get a response back, and the tree seems concerned as you essentially hear back the question of why. They are bad. This is bad. Don't. You could tell this tree is not a fan of this idea.
I think Varen will just kind of stand and nod for a second and go,
Yes, it is evil. But the infected vines must be cut.
and we'll turn around to everyone else and relate that the tree is very unhappy.
When you turn around, you see Ileana looking at you like, stop talking. I also speak arboreal.
And Ileana, you also are noticing that this creature is getting closer to you. And it's making a little bit of noise. Marosha, you've now taken note of this, as well as Gren and Othi, and Viren. And Ben, I'll give you the 14.
Marosha's
Everyone's kind of
looking
seeing this
around
thing.
like,
Slightly stooped. It looks like a muscular male figure with broad shoulders and just leafy vines and leafy moss all the way down. Its beard almost goes down to its waist as it is eyeing you curiously. It doesn't seem to be actively aggressing, but it is currently very much aware of you and knows that you are very much aware of it.
I'll step towards it, just like not an aggressive step, just kind of a half of a step, just kind of in towards it from the group. Can we help you?
Can I help you? What are you doing here?
We are seeking new allies.
Are you lost?
Somewhat. We were following this doll that had been watching us.
Where are you going?
We were hoping to speak with the Primal Court.
Very well. You could follow me. And he starts to lumber off into the swamp in a different direction than the doll was headed.
I think we should stay alert, but I'd rather follow him than the magical doll.
Yeah. I didn't understand any of what was just being said, but they seem weirdly less likely to try and kill us than the doll. I don't know, it's just a feeling.
Yeah. I think we should just assume everyone here is going to try to kill us.
Yeah, that seems like a safe bet, actually.
Goes against my usual nature, but I think in this case I'll make an exception.
But we were also here to make friends.
Are you coming?
That's true.
As you see
Yes,
it
sorry.
start to beckon. This way. It walks off into the swamp.
Follow it.
Okay.
As it-
Thank
Yeah.
you to Xander D. Riley for gifting 5 tier 1 subs. Thank you.
Oh, nice. As
That's
you
super
all
nice.
start to follow this thing, it seems as though the trees and plants that might get into its way start to shift and not really be in its way anymore. As you are, how close to this creature are you following?
I am staying within range of my weapon. So I'm staying. I mean, I was going to say 30 feet, but I feel like that's too far back. Like, that's weirdly far back from someone. So I'm like 15 feet behind him. This creature looks like he probably has a 10-foot reach. I'm like 15 feet behind him. I don't know if everyone else is with me or further back or.
I'd actually like to be closer than that. Like, I'd basically like walk almost parallel to this this being.
Okay. So we got Grin pretty much right next to it. Ileana a little bit way back.
I think Varen is gonna try to take up the end, unless somebody else really wants that position. But I think it would be pretty on edge in this environment, and I think that kind of walking through the water's probably fucking with his tremor sense a little bit. So I think he's maybe going to be relying a little bit more on his eyesight.
I think Othi might go for like somewhere in the middle, so then she can jump behind or jump ahead depending on where the threat's coming from.
Okay. Ben, where are you at?
Yeah, I was gonna say Ben's probably about in the middle, but a little off to the side too, so he's not like hemmed in.
All right. As this thing keeps just walking forward and keeps looking down at you, Grin. Good, good. Follow me. And looks back at everyone else. Hurry up. Only a little bit more. A little bit further. As he continues to say just that. Just a little bit further. A little bit further.
What's your name there, friend?
I'm there stuck.
Oh, nice. I'm Gren Vicaris.
Okay. A little bit further. Come on. Don't lollygag. We have a place to be. With me now. Ren, you first. Come on. And he is just leading you into the swamp.
Ben is starting to get not the full-on like fry squint, but pretty close. He kind of glances at Othi and then Ileana, like just a look that, this seem a little bit sus to you.
Othi just kind of looks over, is like, kind of, shrugs a little.
Ileana looks calm and collected as she's following. But if you look closely, like her muscles are tense. She's very much ready to react to something, but has that calm facade, like nothing's going on.
As you keep following this burstuck for 30 minutes or so, eventually you see that there's these rather large insects that start to fly towards you all. And this creature notices it also as they start to aim towards you, Grin, but immediately just get swatted away by this thing. No, leave them be. A little bit longer. Follow me. So he waved off these large mosquito things that looked like they were trying to get a snack. Keeps leading you into the forest.
So, real quickly,
Mhm.
so I rolled for those 5 advantages. I just rolled a d8 and then ignored the 8. And it ended up being 2 for Ian, 1 for Par, 1 for Zan, and 1 for me. So
Sweet.
thank you again for those subs and advantages.
Yes, absolutely.
That doesn't make me nervous at all. The universe, hey, you might need these.
Better to have them and not need them than need them and not have them, right?
Exactly.
As you keep following this thing, it's been a little bit longer than you were thinking it would be. As he keeps just reminding you to stay close, keep coming. Let's a little bit further. Yes, a little bit further.
How much further are you thinking we need to go? It's been quite some time.
That way. Just a little bit.
Do you have like a empirical measurement for a little bit? Like we talking, like kilometers, meters?
No. He keeps walking.
Okay.
So
Good talk.
over yonder.
Do we see any change to like the sun, to the sun or in the light or anything? Like I'm pretty sure it's pretty
Great question about
dark
the sun and
anyway,
the
or-
light. Yeah, right now it is no sun. It is just like this. There is humidity in the air. You can tell that there's a light source up there, but there's fog, there is mist, there is obscurity that is just everywhere. And as you start to look around at your surroundings, you even look back the way that you had just come from, and there is no path, really. There isn't any tracks or a trail that you had just made. Even looking down at your own feet right now, you're walking in muck, but there are no footprints.
So I have a question.
Yeah, what's up?
As a forest horror as it may be, Varen is in the shape of a minotaur. So I have labyrinthian recall, and I always know which direction is north. What's that doing? How's that feel?
Right now, you still know which direction is north.
And it's not like changing around on us? Feels like we're going
Not right this second.
That's a comfort at least.
As you keep following. Another 5-10 minutes as you walk into a smaller clearing. And you've been walking for a little bit over an hour now or so. And Viren, now north is confusing. As you see the beer stick stop. Good. Are you ready? And he turns to face you all. Any last words?
Nope, don't
Excuse
like
me?
that.
This
You
is
intend to
fine.
go as
Area
far
is
as you
enchanted.
may.
To put my hand on my trident.
Welcome. And he starts to approach you. And I need everyone to roll initiative.
Varen's gonna, as soon as he says that, Varen is wild shaping.
Okay.
As soon as it happens.
Aaron's and I'm clicking my ugly shoes of haste.
That fool said any last words.
He did.
Oh, I have a question.
Yeah, what's up?
So I have in my inventory the conch shell of grab attention, but I don't think we ever really went over what that does exactly.
This is something you got from the
the
eclectic shop.
Yeah.
The conch shell of grab attention is it's very similar. I think it was pretty similar to one of the abilities that you actually that worked well with you. It's that making you again the center of attention for most things.
Oh, was it
See if I have
the
it.
all eyes on me from the supplement?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So does it just do that like at will or?
Let's see. So for that one, I think you have 3 charges per long rest.
Oh, sweet. That is awesome.
Yeah,
And I'll just
skirmish
copy that
nature.
over.
I'm choosing this creature. They need to make an insight against my deception.
Okay.
Could I have used my Could I have gotten off a quick vigilant blessing to give myself advantage on this initiative roll? It's an action.
Yeah, I'm into that. You were prepping for a little bit. A 28? Yeah, what do you get?
He's surprised by me.
Yes, he is. I see that you have a 19.2. That's exciting.
I have the Dex tiebreaker on, so
Yeah. Good, because we would have needed that. All right. So we have Ileana with a 19 and Viren with a 19. We have Gren with a 17. We have Ben with a... Wait.
Marosha, I believe.
I had a 15.
Oh, you do have a 15. Yes, correct. It was just a little bit higher than I was looking. And then I see that there's 2 initiative rolls for... Oh, because that was with initiative, with advantage. Yes, I understand.
Mhm.
And then 13. Sweet. Number lock. Go back on, please. And then Othi. With a 4. As this tall, 12-foot creature, big, muscular, turns and faces you with a menacing smile on its face. What was seemingly a calm and gentle, serene creature is now very much not that. As it looks down at all of you, Ileana, you have the first move. And you have surprised it.
yes. So I think as he turns, I'm suddenly to the side and I hit him mid-turn before he even fully turns. Do I get advantage on this since he is surprised?
Yes, you do.
Awesome. Yeah, I will manifest my spike, except now, because of the level we're at, they're no longer psychic knives, they're now soul blades. So it starts off black and it twists into like an almost liquidy silver as it forms down into a spike. And I will just, as I'm like jumping sideways, whip it at the side of his head.
Okay.
With advantage. 27.
Nice. Yeah, so 27 is going to hit.
Good.
As you
That
hit
would've been
them
bad.
with this knife, this your soul knife. What does that look like? Where do you strike him?
In the side of the head, but it's psychic damage, so it kind of almost just goes through him, but disappears out as it would have emerged out the other side. Just kind of disappears into his head. For
Okay.
23 points of psychic damage.
Good. Nice.
And kind of as I land on that, my other hand whips up and I'll throw another one.
Okay.
13.
As the first one was able to hit, the second one, he does see it coming for this one. And no, blocks it with a part of his hand that looks more tree-like than hand-like.
We don't have to fight. I say an arboreal, seeing that his hand is tree-like.
That doesn't seem to phase him. Anything else you got, Liana?
I will keep moving. I have 60 speed. Is this difficult terrain?
Right now, it is not where you are. Right now, so you're in a little bit of a clearing, and the clearing is on dry-ish land. There's about a 40-foot dry spot, but outside of that, so it depends how far away you are. There's more water and difficult terrain on the outsides, but there's a little bit of dry area right where he has positioned you all.
If I go to the edge of the dry area, how far is that from him?
That's about 40 feet from him.
That's fine. What I'll do.
All right. Viren?
Oh, druid fighting in the swamp is all the options, and that's entirely too many options. Yeah, okay. Did I wild shape before initiative kicked off?
Yeah, I'll say as soon as this guy turned, you are all already very much on edge, and as soon as it happened, I'll give you that you were able to do that.
Okay, well that makes things a lot simpler. So in that case, at the slightest amount of aggression, Verhin rushes forward, and as it moves, you kind of see the water splash up around it as it takes those long minotaur strides, and the water splashes higher and then splashes down low, and you see the shape change, and now kind of skittering across the water where once was Verhin, you now see a giant crawfish. And skittering angrily. And how far away is the guy?
Well, you were a little bit further back. So from where you were, he was about probably. Well, it depends on how far away you were from him. I think you were probably about 30 feet from him.
Sure, yeah. In that case, then I will move my full 30 feet, and we'll bring out the peach.
Okay.
And you know what? We're gonna rage. We're going full on. Raging crayfish right now. Okay, so this is of course one of the things that I don't have loaded. All right, I'll do the math real quick.
Now this giant crayfish that you are right now, what size creature is this?
This is a large creature.
Wonderful.
Is this guy huge?
This guy is large also.
Large also, even better. Then in that case, Varen is going to run up and try to do 2 separate pinches.
Okay.
And this is going to be with a +5. +7. Not +5. And first attack and second attack.
As you
11 and a non-nat 20.
The 11 is not going to make it, but the non-natural 20 will.
Right. Then that is D10. So that is 12 slashing damage. I'm going to double check all this math in between my next turn. That's 12 bludgeoning and a escape, and it has to make an escape check of DC 12 or be grappled. Not 12, 14.
Okay. Let's see how that goes. That is going to be, wait, what kind of roll was that?
Reach target, it doesn't say. I would imagine athletics or acrobatics.
Okay. That
Or
is
save.
going to be 25.
It's fine.
As you try to grab this thing, and it very quickly, it's faster than you were anticipating, moves out of your claw's grasp.
Dang. Well, that's Varen.
All right. In that case, Gren, you were very close to this thing and are now very close to that giant crawfish. What would you like to do?
First, I appreciate a great kaiju battle in the making as I look at these 2 entities squaring off. And then I'm gonna pull out Greg, my light hammer, and hits this thing twice, hopefully.
Good old Greg.
Yes,
Classic
full name,
Greg, man.
full name Greg the Foolish Wanderer. 16, 17.
With both of those, as you run up to this thing with Greg in hand and just try to swing at it, he also just moves out of the way. This thing is fast, way faster than it should be for its size. As you feel like those got pretty close, but did not make contact.
Okay. That is all good. As a bonus action, I'm going to throw up spiritual weapon. Which I forgot to drag to my spell list. Cool. Spiritual weapon, where are you? There it is.
So you have spiritual weapon up then? Or you don't have that?
Sorry. No, I have it prepared. I just didn't pull it to my my spell list.
Yeah, what does Grin's spiritual weapon look like right
now? I think Gren's spiritual weapon, like a cloaked figure, appears around Gren and sort of pulls back. It's a hooded figure. You can't see the face, but pulls back, and it's just it's cloaked figure with a huge great axe. That, as the great axe comes out, it shrinks down, so it's like. It's almost like a little like tune with a comically large great axe as the spiritual weapon.
Excellent.
But before we continue, I don't know why it looks like that. It's always looked like that. I think it was
Fair
a
enough.
prank.
Okay.
And I think I can make an attack when I summon the spiritual weapon?
Yes.
Sorry.
So when you summon the spiritual weapon, it can make an attack right away.
Oh, okay. So I actually will do that one. Oh, or not. Okay. Yeah. Good turn from Ren.
And as this comically large great axe comes down, this creature just deflects it off with its arm. As surprisingly enough, it just looks down at you. Marosha. Or unless Grin, you have a movement still. Are you going anywhere?
I'm gonna stick relatively close by.
All right. Marosha, you are up, and Ben, you're on deck.
So I guess following suit with Varen, kind of rushing a little bit. I'm gonna rage as well, and then use my movement to get right up on it and attack it with my trident, just like barreling right in the middle of it. First one's a 27.
Yeah, that's gonna hit.
Then, that second one, crap. And the second one's a 14, so I think only one of those hits.
That is correct.
Okay. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. 5 and then plus my 2, so 7 points of damage on that. And I'm just gonna kind of just stick there with it on the first one and go, what's the plan? Like kind of shouting out to everybody. What are we taking this thing down, or it was leading us? What's going on?
That seems to be what we're doing.
As you get it with the first strike for your trident, and as you go in for a second one, it also just knees it off to the side. And Ben, you're up next.
Oh, well, this went south or whatever direction really quickly, didn't it? Let's see, how far away? Because Ben was kind of middle of the pack there.
Yeah, I'll say you're about 15, 20 feet.
Oh, well,
I mean, the
that's
furthest
too-
one out was Viren, I think, with about 30 feet away.
that's too close.
What?
There is some intricate tooling on Ben's leather boots that looks like wings and it actually unfurls. And it kind of looks half corporeal. And he is going to use the winged boots. So he now has a flying speed equivalent to his walking speed. And he is going to get a good, 15 feet back and 15 feet up. And as an action, summon a force ballista. And we're gonna take aim at our new friend here. Where did my Eldritch Cannon go? Come back. Get it. No, why is the sheet misbehaving? Come back. There we go. Can't see it. Ooh, that's a 14 to hit.
It's a 14. And as this projectile flies through the air with a very quick just drop down, flies right over this thing's head.
And Ben kind of sighs in disappointment, but he is relieved at least that he is at least at a safer distance away from this thing. It is a small force ballista, by the way, so it is on the ground and mobile.
Okay.
And that is my turn.
All right. Up next is this creature who, after getting hit a couple of times, looks down at all of you. Good. Finally, a fight. And makes a swing. The first one is going to be at you, Viren. And that is going to be a 19 to hit. What is the giant crawfish?
Yes, that will
Okay.
that will do. That will do.
Okay. Where are my dice? This one. That is going to be a 14 bludgeoning damage hit.
Is that magical?
This is... No, not in this case.
Delightful.
Yes, not in this case.
That is.
So that's one 14 damage bludgeoning attack to you. He's also going to swing down towards you, Marosha, and does a 14 hit. No, I don't think it does. Does it?
Misses.
As he swings down, you dodge out of the way just in time as this one arm slams into the ground. And you can tell that it was going to do some potentially serious damage. As
can I use a reaction in reference to that? So being that I do have a rage pulled up, I can use like my form of my beast tail as a reaction to swipe at him. Oh, never mind. Nope, that's to block if you would have made it. So we're good.
Okay,
so that's
okay.
floating out there now.
All right, we'll save it for next time.
Cool.
Gren, does a 28 hit?
Well, somehow.
If it
does.
Level
All right.
10 is so much fun.
As Gren, you are going to take 18 bludgeoning damage. And as this arm comes down and hits you, it feels like the arm itself, the skin or the bark, just grabs onto you as this arm comes back up for a potential second swing, and you are currently stuck to the arm. And it gets worse than that as you feel yourself starting to be pulled into this creature. As the light, as minimal as it was around you, vanishes. As you have been absorbed into this organism, you are inside of this creature. I need you to take 14 piercing damage as you get just poked and prodded by the inside of this thing. And no, it's not your turn yet. We'll save that one for next time. You are currently inside and absorbed of this creature. And Otha, you see all of this happening. What do you do to respond?
Oh, I've got an epic response to this. So we're gonna throw in a lot of flavor with this.
Okay.
So imagine, if you will, Othe's on this giant mastiff. Shield isn't like equipped yet. She's just sort of holding it. Has her hammer in the other hand, and she just like does the like you would with a horse, where you sort of just squeeze your heels together and do the yeah kind of sound. So this giant mastiff with Othi on top is just charging straight towards this creature. And at the last second, she dismisses the magical mount, throws down the shield, which has a stepladder on it, on the back of it, as you'll recall, and takes the last couple of steps, and just does a flying leap, both hands on the hammer, just coming down onto this creature.
Okay.
We're gonna make an attack roll here.
Sweet.
In the background, you're the best.
Yeah.
Just going full force for it.
If that does not hit, I am gonna use my advantage.
Yeah.
Okay,
Maybe use that. I don't know.
let's try that again. Nat 20.
Hey, good use of that.
Whew, thank you for that
Excellent.
advantage. So nat 20. So with that, I have a couple of things that I'm gonna do.
Okay.
So first off, I just got this really cool thing called Goading Attack. So when you hit a creature with a weapon attack, you can expend one superiority die, which I have one, to attempt to goad the target into attacking you. So I'm going to add that to the damage roll, and then the target must make a wisdom saving throw. On a failed save, the target has disadvantage on all attack rolls against targets other than me until the end of my next turn. I'm also going to throw on a level 2 smite with it.
Okay.
Is this thing a fiend by any chance? Any kind of fiend? Or what was the other one?
This thing,
Undead is the other one. I don't think it's
as you
undead.
hit it with your smite, absolutely is a fiend.
Sweet. All right, that's going to be a bunch of damage. So let's see. That is... let's see. Let's do this one first.
Oh, and that was a wisdom saving that he had to do?
Yeah.
That'll be a 19 for that.
Okay, I believe that will... Yeah, that's plenty to beat it. Okay, and D&D Beyond is taking forever to roll that 10 because it's doing the animation for some reason. So we'll get to that in a second, I guess. And then, so 11 from that. Let's see. And then we're rolling 2d8 plus another 2d8 for the spell level, plus 1d8 for the fiend, so that's 5d8 damage from the smite. So 29 plus 11, and then the 7 is doubled because of the crit, right? From the 11.
Yes. Yeah. So that'll be the dice roll for
Okay.
the actual swing of the hammer.
All right, so that's a 18 actually for the first. So 18 plus 29. Grand total of 47 damage. It did not get goaded.
It did not.
So we're gonna take the next attack action.
Oh yes, actually. So this, I think, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. The smite damage was not its own attack roll, so that still does qualify for that crit. Actually.
Oh.
Yeah,
Oh.
kill this thing.
Oh dear lord. All right, hold on. That's 18 plus 29. is the times 2 plus the 18. So that's 76 damage.
Okay.
And then we'll bring the hammer up on the extra attack. Which is gonna miss. And then I've got the bonus action, which I'm going to cast Shield of Faith on myself.
Okay. Excellent. Solid turn.
Feeling pretty good about that one.
Yeah, that was I think you quadrupled the amount of damage that thing had.
Yeah, and Othie's
Almost.
basically just yelling, "Let go of my friend! Spit it out!
Yeah.
Spit it out!"
Fantastic. Great time to roll that critical. As from behind you, you hear Avery, "Yeah, spit him out! Spit him out!" As you see this blast of light go through Avery's gem. This thing is going to make a dex save. And oh my goodness. Roll a one. Why? How? Yeah, Avery's around too. As this thing is going to take an amount of damage also. The ray of light from Avery's gem also makes contact, but not enough to knock this thing completely.
Oh, sorry. Also, I forgot to add the superiority die to that damage,
Ooh.
so that should be another 6
Okay.
damage.
Sweet. Don't worry. Still up. Not looking great. Still up. As you hit with all of this, you could tell that this was not what he was expecting to happen. As you can see that the malice in his eyes is now still there. It's not going anywhere. But also there's concern. Ileana, you're up next. Viren, you're on deck.
Yeah, seeing Gren get pulled in, curses under her breath. It takes a deep breath, and I will steady aim, giving myself advantage, and forming again that new silvery, liquidy spike in my hand. I will throw it at him. Oh, boo!
And 18 is gonna make it.
That's gonna make it.
It's gonna hit, yeah.
Awesome. Okay. 24 again. I keep rolling below average. 24 points of psychic.
4 points of psychic.
And that's all I can do because steady aim eats up my bonus action and movement.
Ooh, all right. Viren, you are a giant crawfish.
I am an angry giant crawfish.
Excuse me.
Yeah, let's do it.
So in that case, Varen is going to make terrible little. Despite eating crawdads my entire life, I have no idea what noise they make. Whatever. It's the noise of instant regret of anyone who touches them. We're going to go in with both pinchers, and these are going to be reckless attacks because, of course, they are.
Okay. Of course they are.
Look, what is the good of a carapace if I can't reckless attack? All right. So first attack is, and all right.
Wait.
I did all my math and everything. No, that was just the attack roll. No, it is. So for that best one, that is a 21. So it's a +7 to hit, and the damage is 1d10 +7 with all rage and all that stuff.
That first one hits.
Dope. That is 1d10 +7. So that is going to be 12 damage.
Okay.
And we'll follow that up. Oh, and that is the DC 14. Whatever to not be grappled. It's written as like a GM monster, and so it's just automatically grappled, but that seems like a bit much.
It failed that check though, so.
Oh, well, that's delightful. Good thing I'm
Yeah,
still
it's going to
raging.
be a 4.
Love it. Love it. So we're gonna get a little weird for this next one then if it hits.
Okay.
Is it now grappled?
Yes,
Yes.
it is.
Okay.
So it's gonna be a 25.
That's still going to hit. Yep.
And Grin got. Where did Grin get like absorbed into?
He kind of got smacked by the back of the forearm, and he is somewhere in the arm-ish as far as where you saw him go in.
Would this be the most or the least appropriate place for a disarming strike with my martial fighting style? We'll take the risk. I'm raging.
Okay.
So in that case, that is 3, but that's not 3. I'm going to use Savage Attacker because I got that as a feat.
Okay.
Take that 5. So that is another 12 plus. It's another 15 points of damage, and it's I guess it's the same save to be disarmed. No,
True.
it
Let's try
says
But
martial adept.
he doesn't really have to. Hey, Viren, what's this look like as you finish this guy off? Apparently, already.
I think that angry crawfish Varen bubbles ferociously from the mouth region and reaches out with one claw and kind of clamps it around the waist, and then reaches into the other and digs into the shoulder around the area that Grin is and yanks it away and hopefully flings Grin out more or less unharmed, and then just starts to pinch and pull, and as it falls over, just kind of scuttering on top and just being very aggressive with eating it.
And you don't really get a lot of time to do that part, but you do get enough time to rip it apart. And Grin, you fall out onto the swamp floor as this creature that led you into the swamp, got you seemingly lost in the swamp, and tried to kill you in the swamp, has now been eviscerated in the swamp. As the parts that existed before you, where you maybe guessed that it would be, I don't know, friendly, melt and turn into thick black ichor that litters the ground around you. As the last thing that you hear from it is, "Oh, they'll find you." And it melts away. And Ileana, you look up and once again see a doll in the trees. And that's what we're going to go ahead and take a break.
Fantastic. Oh, that was so good. We'll be back in just a little bit, and we'll find out where we're going from there. Be right back. And maybe there we go. We're back.
Excellent. As the group of you are standing in this swamp clearing, after being led astray into the swamp by what you've learned during your fight to be a fiend, a demon, as it absorbed one of you, and in the battle getting decimated, turning into black ichor, leaving you somewhere in the realm of Ehib. As Ileana, you have noticed that there is another doll, whether it's the same one or a different one. It's up in the trees again. And as you all look around, you again don't see your path that you took to get here. You don't see tracks. You don't see anything, really. You're in the middle of a swamp.
I glance around at everyone. Is everyone ready? Do we need a breather?
Yes. Gren is.
Giant
Gren,
crawfish.
Gren came out of this creature and has been laying just on the floor looking at the sky for a good 10 seconds. Sometimes adventuring does indeed suck.
I take it even with the
Does-
extra 15 feet of altitude, it's a swamp. Ben's not going to see anything noteworthy
I mean,
Yeah.
as far as like a trail or anything. No,
There-
that's what I figured.
as much as you try, and even those of you who are actively good at finding trails, it's not there. Somebody can make a Arcana or Religion check, though. You did just fight a demon.
Am I any good at any of those? No, not at all.
I will say as people are looking around, our friend is back. I think they'll lead us once we're ready.
Othi's gonna just one hand just pull the shield out of the muck, wipe it off, and look over at Grin laying on the ground. Hey, buddy, you need some medical attention?
I certainly wouldn't mind it.
Othi will walk over there and do lay on hands for, how much damage did you take?
Hold on. 68. It's 36. I took 32 points of damage.
Okay. She'll heal 15.
Thanks.
I'm gonna pat him on the chest and go, for whatever else that ails you, hand him a flask. Take a sip of this.
Yeah, Ben is going to kind of drop back down, and the wings fold back into his boots and reform the tooling, and he looks at where the black ichor is on the ground and kind of sighs and goes, well, the risk they took was calculated, but damn, are they bad at math.
That did get me. Oh, okay.
We
Good.
gave them a chance to not fight. So
Very true. They also did just say time to die, so it feels apt that we.
Yeah,
Not-
anyone
doesn't
tells
really-
me any last words,
That
that's it.
didn't really give a lot of options, so.
Yeah.
Real quick before we move forward. So I assume Ileana told us hey, that thing's back. The doll who's following us.
I did.
Are looking at Varen and Ileana, are you able to speak to it and to at least get some idea? Because I don't know if we have the energy to walk into another battle yet.
I can try, but the last time I acknowledged it, it took off running, so I didn't want to try until everybody was ready. I see motioning my head towards Gren, laying in the muck.
This can we see the doll? They're not really hiding, are they?
Not particularly. As you look around, go ahead and make a perception check for me. And now you all are aware that there is something so you can all look if you'd like to.
Jeez, I got an 11, but my passive is 17. Can we do that?
We could, but that's still not going to make it.
16.
Okay.
I love having a 25 passive perception.
Yeah, it's something. Gren, from lying down on your back, just recovering, you do see this thing also. It is obscured, but it is watching. And noticing everybody else look around, it's clearly very good at hiding. Only two of you have pinpointed where this thing is.
I think Gren just lets out a deep sigh, stands up, takes out his water skin, pours it over his head to wipe his face off. The flask that Marosha gave him, take a big swig, give it back. Okay, let's do this.
We'll look up at the doll. Can we talk first before you run?
And as soon as you acknowledge it, heads off in the swamp.
This time Gren will run after this thing.
Okay,
The exacerbated
as
sigh.
well.
Okay.
it's going.
Ben kind of
Alright.
gives that Eldritch Cannon an affectionate little pat, almost like you would a pet before kind of dismissing it. It vanishes.
And as all this is happening, Viren, you still are trying to acknowledge north. You know where it was, but it doesn't feel like you know where it is currently. As Gren, go ahead and make a survival check for me. This one, even with everyone's aid, it's going to be a straight roll.
Okay, come on.
As soon as again Stall is acknowledged.
Can I give my
Yeah.
advantage to Grin?
Can you?
Wait.
I'm
Yeah.
willing
I was
to.
gonna
If
do
you,
the same.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
No.
Oh yeah, Grin, you've got a advantage. Also, Michael
do.
Wayne gave us an auto crit for the next person who fails. If you want to use that auto crit now,
That is a natural one. You can do whatever you want.
Or anything.
An auto crit.
mm-hmm.
I think Gren deserves
Saves
it,
it.
to be honest with you.
Something.
Me too. You just got ate by a tree monster. That
You did.
seems appropriate.
All right, as we change that around. And even though you've just fought this demon, and looking around, you can clearly tell that you are not close, really, to where you were before. Tracking this thing, easy, as nobody is aware of the direction that you're heading, but you're heading in the direction that the doll went. And you follow it for a little bit. You have to make a little bit of time back from the detour that you took. But through the swamp, through the muck, hopping off roots and rocks to keep yourself as dry as possible. Well, this thing again, you can see right over the water. As it runs into a different clearing, you can see that it is a little ways ahead of you. And as you start to get closer, you can tell that this clearing has a massive tree in the center of it. And staying a little bit ways back, Ileana, you notice, and you all can see into the clearing, that there's a lot of other plants. There's some large purplish pink flowers. There's some plants that are taller than you all, 10, 15 feet tall, that are scattered around. And from where you are, you can see the doll lose itself in the underbrush. And the tree shifts a little bit. Ileana, once again, off to the distance, you can also tell that there's more movement. There are a couple of figures that are heading also towards the clearing on the opposite side of you. They don't seem to have noticed you all, but with your amazing perception, you're very well aware of them. As you can tell that there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, about 5 figures that are, well, there's more than that, but it looks like 5 that are in charge. There's a handful of others that look like they are being escorted. Smaller, but from where you are, you can't quite tell more than that.
Escorted
Towards the clearing by these
Like-
other things.
in
Not-
honor or as prisoners?
As prisoners. You've seen this before. They do not look like they are having a good time.
Gotcha.
But they are not aware of you.
I'll point it out to everyone. We have people coming in, looks like they have prisoners. We can either hide or confront them immediately. What are people feeling? Could be what we're looking for.
Are you still a giant crayfish?
I was wondering the same thing.
I got 4 hours. Not gonna use this
Yeah, you got
temporary
that
HP
time.
on nothing. Also,
This is dope.
for whatever reason, it might this could be some kind of covert action for Varen. You never know who Varen might have people out for it in the in the swamps. You never know.
It was good to have.
I
this
just
guys.
enjoy being a crayfish.
I think we should hang back a little bit and kind of see how this plays out.
Okay.
All right.
Othi, you may want to hang back the furthest.
Yeah. All right.
All right. As you all sit and wait to watch, I need everyone to go ahead and make a stealth check for me.
Is this dim light?
This is dim light, yes.
I get,
Welcome to EHIV. Everywhere is dim light.
I get advantage everywhere then.
Congratulations.
Let's go expertise.
Oh.
That's a 5 for me.
Ooh.
I am invisible.
Barely above average 24 for me.
Okay.
And if that fails, I can add to it. So
All right.
I want to be close enough to hear.
Perfect. And even with Othi making a little bit of ruckus in the background, these things look on a mission. Like they're aware but not paying that much attention. At least the ones that are in charge. And as they get closer, you can kind of start to see a little bit more about what they are, what they look like. As these things are gross looking. The ones in charge, at least, they look like they have taut, tight, blackish pink skin with this tuft of red hair that comes up. They're wearing these skulls as shoulder plates with bones that stick out the back, with little bracelets and wristbands made of smaller bones, teeth potentially. And you can see that there are 4 of them. 3 of them are a little bit less clatted up, and one of them is very clearly in charge, the one taking the lead. You can see that they're walking in a single file row, the one in the lead, and then they have 3 other creatures in between them that are all attached together with rope and chain. And you can tell that these, as they get a little bit closer, are smaller turtle-like, lizard-ish creatures. And from where you can see, they are shelled, but they have longer tails and finger-like hands. On the top of their head, they have a little mountain, it looks like, sticking right up at the top. And you all recognize this type of creature as a kappa. They are one of the denizens of EHIB, and you're all pretty aware of the members of the courts. You know that King Kappa is one of the animal lords here in EHIB, and right now you are seeing that there are a few of these creatures that are being escorted towards this big tree.
2 questions.
Yeah, what's up?
First, which court is King Kappa with?
King Kappa is with the Unsealing Court. He is the Animal
Okay.
Lord of Ehib for their court.
Cool.
The Animal Lord for the Sealy Court, if that is important also, is the Queen of Serpents.
Okay. And then do we still see our doll that we're...
The doll
we're calling a
ran
friend?
through the big plants and into what you saw as the roots of the tree. So it is currently not visible, but it is gone under the
It
roots.
looks like it's hiding like we are, sort of thing.
Not necessarily hiding. In fact, you were able to perceive that the roots kind of shifted and the doll went under or inside of the tree.
Gotcha. We don't have time to get there as a party before they make it to the clearing.
I mean, you're a little bit ways outside the clearing and they're just kind of entering. So if you would like to encounter them, sure. Or
it's fine.
sit and watch and whatever you want.
I'll sit and watch.
Okay.
I have I have lip reading too if I can't hear them. So.
Okay. As you continue to watch, the handful of these creatures, 4 of these demons that you veer in, now that you're able to see them, you've actually seen these things before. These resemble the creatures that attacked you as you made your way out of Umbervale. They're small and menacing looking, as the one that's in the lead drags the chains and ropes as everyone follows. They make their way through the plants right to this massive tree. And with your lip reading, do you speak Abyssal?
Ooh, I do.
I do too.
I do not speak Abyssal.
They are too far away to hear. So those of you who are just listening, it's a little bit iffy, but with the lip reading, that would have been different. You can tell that they're saying something, and you can hear that there is Abyssal being spoken in the same way that you can hear like a mumbling of a different thing. But as far as making up the words, you can see the gestures though, pointing at them, pointing at the roots. And you can see that these Kappas are they don't want to do that. As they get prompted to enter the area where the roots exist. As you watch this tree open up, as they get escorted underneath, as the roots goes back up.
So, like, how swampy is this environment? Just before the tree closes, how are we talking? Like, just damp ground, like clay? Or are we talking like ankle deep, knee deep?
Where the tree is itself is more of like clay. It is not water where the roots exist. There's another little patch of solid-ish ground, but around the area, there's a lot of swampy water still.
About how far away would you say the water stops from the tree?
The tree's really big. So from the tree itself is probably about 25, 30 feet wide. And then from the base of the tree, it probably is another 30 or 40 feet until it starts to become like swamp water. And looking at this water, as you are all currently on dry ground, this water itself is very different looking. It very much now resembles the contaminated water that you saw earlier.
I won't do anything. Stay crawdaddied up.
Othie's probably like clenching her jaw, but isn't doing anything.
Yeah, that'd be ditto for Ben.
Okay. As you all sit and wait, nothing really changes. There's the flowers that are outside that didn't seem to react to the other things that were moving through. How long do you want to watch for?
In just a few minutes,
Okay.
and then I'll step out to the party. That seems to be our path as well. Hopefully that's given them enough time to get ahead of us. So That doll doesn't work alone, so I'm guessing we're expected.
Viren clacks in agreement.
Best we stand on guard.
Remember why we're here? We're disillusioned with the other courts.
My job is to not speak. It's good to stand there.
Yep. I'm just gonna, I'm just gonna stand and look pretty.
Yeah, that.
I can do the talking. I will approach the tree.
Okay. As you step into the clearing, the plants around start to move, a few of them, in a way that they acknowledge your presence. The ones that are standing taller have these long vines with branches and other prickly bits sticking off of them, with this large orange flower that sticks on top. And with no eyes, these plants start to point in your direction.
I will. I'll just kind of hold my hands up, showing I do not have any weapons drawn. We just want an audience.
Mimicking
Primal
movement.
Court.
With that, go ahead and roll me a persuasion check.
And I can repeat it in arboreal as well, if that helps.
Okay.
$23, and if that's a failure, I can boost it.
All right. With that, as you walk out, showing you mean no harm right now, the plants that were acknowledging you drift back. And after a moment or so, the roots start to unravel again. And a few figures walk out. Not the ones you saw earlier, but more grotesque, as you see that there are two of them that walk side by side. They look different. One of them, however, you all recognize. Standing a little bit taller than the one next to it, it is the same mud hag that flew the Jabberwock over the lake. Standing right next to it is another smaller, medium-sized creature that looks like it just came out of the ocean, with dripping coarse black hair and kelp that drips around it. These are two hags that are standing right in front of you. As they both just look at you. Speak!
We seek an audience with the Primal Court.
Why?
We are skilled adventurers that have found our fortunes broken and ill-favored with the other courts, and we are ready to see some change.
And what have you brought us?
I will kind of turn and like start looking through my bag and just kind of glance at everyone else in the party.
You can see that they start to look at each other at least.
Othi's gonna look at Ilyana and just sort of mouth Yule Feast question.
I pull out 100 gold and just kind of toss it over to him.
Because Othi's got that scroll that just like summons a whole big Yule Feast. Like, do we want to try that?
I'd hate to
I
give
think
that
that
up,
might
but
be
that is a
better.
good gift.
Yeah.
It might be better if we presented it to the court inside. Be a bigger spread. We just need to get in the door.
Well, a scroll would. We could say that we brought it for the court. Like, this is
Yeah.
our gift.
A big
I'm
feast
still
like for
gonna
everybody.
offer up the 100. Just be like, ladies, spend some time.
Marosha, as soon as you walk out, you see the mud hag light flash in her eyes.
Oh, it's you again. You didn't have enough last time.
Yes, our time was cut quite short. And of course, we traveled all this way. And I'm happy to see that you're the one to greet us.
If you come a little closer, we can cut it a little more short.
I prefer to get closer once we're inside. Once we're there, I'm all yours.
Oh, mine? I like the sound of that. Are you the gift then?
Me personally, no, but my company, maybe, depending on if our time is well spent here.
Oh, I believe you had the gift, right?
Yep. Anything to cut this conversation shorter. Yeah, I have a scroll here for a big feast for everyone as our gift of hospitality.
I can never have any fun.
They just like slapping Marosha's arm.
Dorothy, go ahead and roll a persuasion check for me
Oh,
with advantage
dear
as you're
Lord.
getting help from Marosha.
All right. 23.
Okay.
Do you agree? Yes, I think that will be satisfactory. Ragda will like that. I agree. Follow us.
And they both turn around and head into the tree. As these plants are still very much aware of you. What do you do?
Follow into the lion's den.
Okay.
Yep.
As you all move in, you can see that Avery is not particularly thrilled with what's going on, but still along for the ride. As the group of you move in, the plants track your movement. And now you are inside of an earthy, worm-ridden cavern. As you see the dark overcome as the roots cover up the entranceway. Along the walls, you can see little lights that are luminescent mushrooms coming from the ground. As you follow down into the ground underneath the hill, following these two hags. Moving down further, you walk through a long corridor until you end up in a larger room that has dirt made of the entire walls and an area up in front that looks like it would be for worship or sacrifice. And there's other corridors that lead out of this room. The creatures that you saw earlier are nowhere to be seen. But in front of you stands a massive figure that is, once again, pretty tall. You see standing in front of this altar a giant elderly woman with long, unkept hair and horrific claws that come out. Her face is not to be seen. It's a fanged mask with wild, protruding eyes and a disturbingly long tongue with curved spikes of bones that go along its edges. As she stands there and looks at you all.
You brought them in. Tell me, what can Ragda do for you?
As she looks back at these two other hags who've now moved around and they are moving closer to her side.
As we mentioned, we're seeking an audience with the Primal Court. We have found our fortunes spoiled with the other courts. The world is changing, and we see no reason to stick to the old order.
And what do you know of the Primal Court, then?
Not much. That many are defecting. We've heard that there are opportunities.
Opportunities
Bring our
abound.
skills.
Do you know who I am?
You can make a history
Unfortunately,
check.
I do not.
Everybody can go ahead and make a history or arcana or religion check. Either one of those.
Those are like the only skills I don't have proficiency in.
Whoa.
It was history, arcana, or what?
History, arcana, or religion.
Oh, yep. I'm not good at any of those.
So I can take a -1, a -1, or a -1.
You could.
You're gonna roll better than most of us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Double digits.
Yeah, I'll give it a try. Just, you never know, right?
You never know.
Let's see, religion, history. I'll throw in arcana then. 8.
I'm not sure if there's much point in Ben rolling, considering.
Oh no, Ben, please roll.
Okay.
Ben rolls a nat 20. I know everything.
That would be amazing. I would love that. Actually.
And that's Ben.
That's Ben.
Damn near.
That was a 19 that I rolled, so I have a 5 in all of those.
One.
And I'm not
Person who's not from the same planet knows more about this than we
I'm not
do.
proficient in any
And-
of those.
And I will tell you right now that that makes perfect sense. Because this is not a creature from the Feywilds. Ben, you have done your homework. You have studied things, you've been to places, you've read books, and you know history and lore and things that you figured would never really be true, but now you're seeing some wild stuff. And you know that based on what you're seeing in front of you, this is a demon lord named Ragda. You know that Ragda is a demon lord of witches. They constantly are found around hags, and putting pieces together, you know that they are powerful. Not from here, not from anywhere as far as you were aware, except for, well, the abyss. But that couldn't exist. But here exists, so logically speaking, anything could be. Ben, you're struck with a sudden realization that, well, you have an entity in front of you that should not be here, but is.
Yeah, and for just a brief moment, there is kind of a look of recognition of his face, but it's very quickly, very carefully gone again.
So, you figured it out at least. Tell them, who am I?
As this mask is looking directly at you, Ben.
He His posture kind of ever so slightly slumps, like, yeah, I should have figured. Uh, well, heard several names. The Demon Queen of Witches.
As you all hear that information, you are struck with the realization that this might be larger than you were potentially realizing. As Gren, especially, you know what the goal of the Unseelie Court truly is. It is to prevent exactly this from happening. Creatures from the abyss showing up in the Feywilds, demon lords walking. Well, you heard about the seed earlier. As everyone else starts to slowly put that together as well.
Yeah, I think in her mind, Ileana is shifting gears because this is suddenly no longer just an espionage mission. He's wondering how much of the armies of either court needs to be raised for this. I will. Oh, I don't know if the Demon Lord could sense this, so I'm not going to risk it. No. After everyone takes a moment to put everything together, I did not realize we would be in the presence of someone such as yourself. I have to say, I am honored. I'm sure we are all honored. We hope that we can find service here. We are best abroad. We can travel quickly and efficiently. I'm sure your watcher saw how quickly we dispatched some enemies we found here in the swamp.
You know, you saw was nice. He was weak, but harmless. Oh, we let him exist to lure whoever off into the distance. Yeah, beat him. So, congratulations.
I think at this point, Othi is just slowly inching behind Marosha to hide.
Now, tell me, where is the seed?
It was stolen.
By who? Tell me.
Agents of the Summer Court.
Perfect. Well, the rule of 3 is on their way, so wonderful. With that, the gifts. You wish to stay with us, don't you?
Stay with you or find opportunity if you have employment. We are, as I mentioned, traveling adventurers.
Traveling adventurers, they are. Well, we could find some use for you here. What do you say? I feel like that one has already been dibsed.
And she points directly at you, Marosha. As you see the mud hag just
of course, a business before any pleasure. I mean, we of course are. We do have important matters that we need to address, and of course, all good things in all due time. Looking back over at the hag, And then just kind of looking over at Ileana like, help me. help me.
Yeah, I'm not looking at you. You got yourself into this, so I'm letting you deal with that while I deal with the much
Listen,
larger
come-
world-ending issue.
I think Othi will
Yeah, no.
we'll try to help Roshan and be like, oh, right, gifts. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Who's hungry? We've got a feast for everybody.
Who's hungry?
They are.
Who wants
apparently.
chowder?
No, I didn't say
No,
thirsty. Who's hungry?
Just trying to get us in the door. Didn't help.
Oh, it
Yeah,
did.
no, yeah, yes. My friend, one of my truest companions here, she has a wonderful gift to offer.
So
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess Othi will just activate the scroll to summon the feast for everybody.
Oh, you're going to use it right now.
Yeah, I think that is Othi's assumption or perception is that the gift was the feast and not the scroll itself necessarily.
Okay. As you start to use this scroll, it falls to the ground and unrolls. And what kind of food is in there?
I imagine it's like, is it at all tied to the person casting it, or is it like a preset menu?
This one is tied to you.
Okay, in that case, it's like all of the winter solstice holiday dishes that are native to like Maihea. So whatever that would look like, but I imagine in particular there's at least like a giant just the most juicy ham that you can possibly imagine included in that, and lots of like fruit and nut pies, as well as whatever other delicacies are known in Maihea. Probably a lot of seafood too, because it's a coastal area.
Yeah, there's a lot of that too. And there's food everywhere. Now, one thing you do notice, what kind of drinks are there? Are there any drinks?
Probably mulled wine and wassail and perhaps some like sparkling water from a mineral spring type thing.
As all of this food and drink lays out on the ground, the food looks spectacular. And as you look at the drinks, they do not. They look, even though they just came from this spell, this scroll, they look like the water outside.
Hmm.
That liquid is already contaminated. As the hags look around,
I suppose we can eat. Now.
now, as they kind of look at Ragda to see, what do we do with this? Because they were not expecting you to use that actively.
That's so
There's
funny.
just now food on the ground.
I assume it came with a table. If it didn't come with a table, like
There's
you know,
food
she-
and a
she-
table.
she would look for a table, so it's not on the floor
Yes.
at least.
As this feast is now set up,
Well, shall we dine then?
as Ragda takes a few steps forward. And this is also a large feed. She stands maybe a little bit taller even than the demon that you just faced off against, about 13, 14 feet tall, as she plops down next to the table with the hags at her side.
Will you join us then to share in this transaction?
Othi just sort of looks over at Ileana like, but this I don't know how these things work.
Yeah, is there, as far as like what we know of the Feywild being members of the Feywild, members of the court
Yeah.
around the courts, like what is at stake here?
Regarding what specifically?
Like if we sit down and eat with them, what does that mean in the culture of the Feywild?
I see. That could mean a lot of different things. Now, you have provided this food, so they are not presenting it to you, which is a different thing.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, you already know that without having to taste test anything, that the drinks are not what you want to drink, actually. They do not look appetizing. They are there, but they don't look great. As far as eating under one's roof or any safety regarding that, again, they did not present you with this. You presented them with this. So there's a little bit of a difference there, specifically. But they seem like they do not care about any of those rules. They are sitting down at this table. Now, this is different than the other courts. Already, you feel that this is maybe not working in the same rules and regulations as an official court might.
I think Othi might just be direct then and say, so when you say transaction, just want to make sure that we're all on the same page, if you will. What do you mean by transaction?
Well, you've given us yourself in servitude, and we will take care of the rest.
I don't think that's quite right.
You came here to join us. You came here because you wanted a better life. Well, I can offer you one.
More of like a employer-employee kind of situation.
Yeah, we're here.
Compensation of a sort.
Money,
the compensation
favors, the general.
is you get to live. How about that?
Let's, of course, walking with our lives
business and
is
pleasure.
much
Yes, you.
right. Wonderful. Of course, walking away with our lives is very beneficial, but we could be of more benefit if that was already something we have. In addition, and he's kind of just like rambling off, creating a distraction, and what he's trying to do is kind of like push the cups of like water and ale that's we notice is already contaminated to the side, and kind of like doing one of these like over the shoulder, and he's taking out his flask, which it's a big flask, and he's just kind of like pouring shots of what's in there, and I trying to present it as a sign of respect, because I feel as though if they're going to drink that and they're going to notice it's contaminated, they're going to be pissed. So I don't want that to happen. Servitude is such a servitude is such a very ironclad thing. Maybe we weren't clear in what we would like to do. It's more so of a single transaction of assistance. But please, before we get too deep into that, here, have a drink. And it's like what he poured out in his flask.
Who are you offering this one to?
I think I'm going to offer it first to I forgot her name. The
Ragda.
Not the two hags. Yeah, I'm going to offer it to her first out of respect. It's her house.
And she takes it. You just poured some out of the flask?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes.
She takes your shot, takes up another glass, dumps it in, and then takes both of them.
Delicious. Thank you. A generous
Absolutely.
guest.
And you can see that these hags and Ragda herself, they are absolutely not fazed by the liquid. They are just drinking it. So,
One bullet dodged, I hope.
what one task were you thinking then?
What is something you need? We could retrieve the seed.
We have people
stolen
on
at
that.
once. Is there something else you need stolen? I'm quite good at that.
Mhm. Well, we have a lot of things in the motion. Garzitz has really lent us a hand. But the seed is still out of sight. You know about this one. But we are on that too. Unless you have any more information, we have many things taken care of in the works.
Myself and my friend here, we were at one time employed in the guard of Maihea, so we know ways into the city that others do not. Ways around the wards and the protections, guard schedules. We could help infiltrate. I was the one who originally stole the seed from the grip of the Winter Court, and it was too much alcohol one night that caused me to lose it, but I will not make that mistake again.
Make a deception check for me.
Gladly.
Oof.
This goes without saying, but I will boost it if I fail.
Fair enough.
I'm assuming I do not have advantage.
No.
Most of what I said was true.
Most of what you said was true.
Okay.
But the part about losing the seed
Can-
is the part that they
can,
actually picked up.
Can I assist?
How?
With like, not specifics, but like vague references to secret ways into Maihea. Like, oh yeah, there's this one grate, that's loose. I can, tell you where that is, or this one secret passageway, that sort of thing.
Okay. We're going to do 2 checks here. One is going to be the deception check, and one is going to be a persuasion check with advantage, because these are 2 different asks, 2 different things.
Okay.
I can do that. So first one's deception.
Correct.
Roll 20, please don't fuck me.
Oh,
32.
Nat 20.
And I can boost.
Hey, that's
it if
not
I need
bad.
to. Next is
All right.
persuasion with advantage.
Persuasion with advantage.
27. I can boost it if I need to.
I am curious about what that looks like, but no, 27 is pretty good.
I'm gonna get to roll it just for funsies.
Yeah.
It's not a D10 yet. It'll be a D10 next level, but it is a D8.
All right.
33.
Perfect. As you talk to this demon lord and lie right to her face about where the seed is and your intent, she looks down at you.
I'm intrigued. We might be able to come to a resolution yet. Don't think I've forgotten about you, though.
She eyes you, Marosha.
Fine. We won't kill you today. Stay around. Maybe we'll kill you tomorrow. Once you've given us the information. But if you prove useful, then we'll see how it goes.
I'm gonna give you the information, but it's my skills that are valuable. I can get in and out of the vaults of the courts without being detected or caught.
To wage war on the summer courts with one of their own. I do like that.
Poetic.
Fun. Once again, welcome to the Primal Court.
And that's where we're going to pick it up next time.
Oh, goodness. There is one more thing
Oh yeah,
that
what's up?
I was gonna have Othi
Yeah.
say, and Othi's doing the thing like I probably shouldn't say this, but it's still just this nag. He's like, I'm gonna say it. She goes, pardon me, just one thing. So, with all due respect, just as a sort of cultural education thing, generally, in these realms, if you say, give me the information and then I'll kill you, that doesn't work as well as give me the information or I'll kill you. Just, in case you need that information for recruiting, things like that,
Well, I'll keep this in mind for when you give me the information.
Good to know. Good talk. Okay.
And welcome to the Primal Court.
Awesome.
Those are some good rolls.
I cannot believe
Never
Finn,
been so nervous
of all
making
people.
persuasion and deception rolls. And lying to a demon lord.
Honestly.
God. Oh, what were you saying, Em?
Oh, I can't believe Finn of all people.
Right? Oh, goodness. And I was so glad that Othi didn't really understand everything that was happening, because then she was completely truthful. She wasn't trying to be deceptive with oh yeah, there's this, this one secret way to get it. Oh. Well, that was fantastic. That was such a good session. We're going to raid here in just a minute. But before we do, I want to give everybody a chance to say what their favorite part was, where we can find them next, and anything they'd like to share or talk about with projects and things like that. We'll go reverse order from how we did intros. So Andy, we'll start with you.
Hey. Oh man, what a session. That was really, really fun. There was, honestly, yeah, you said it in the chat too. All of the natural 20s in this session were probably at the most clutch times, and those, I think, really sold what you were trying to do. There was some cool role play and some cool action shots, but they just came in so clutch the entire session. Fantastic. Hey, good job getting in and talking your way through that one. I know, me too. So we'll see how that goes when we come back next time. As far as myself, you can find me online here on Twitch at Martinez Streets, Twitter, Martinez Tweets. I guess, is the B one back yet? I haven't checked that one in like 2 weeks, so who knows? Yeah, Hive, that's what it's called.
Oh, yeah, Hive. Yeah, it's back.
Okay, cool. I'll check that eventually. You can catch me here next week. Might do some other things over the weekend, but honestly, who knows? So definitely here next Tuesday to see what happens next. I'm really excited to figure that one out because there's a lot of options. Who knows what it'll be. But yeah, I think that'll do it for me. Great job. That was awesome. That was really fun.
Awesome. Next, Zan, what's your favorite part? Where can folks find you, and anything you want to share or plug?
Sure. So I don't actually know what a crowd would do in that situation. I'm Zan. Insanity TTRPG most places. I am a game dev, homebrew writer, who maybe less often for 5e now. General doer of creative things, and your favorite resident therapeutic GM. As far as some projects that I have going on, I am still looking for some folks for panels for PAX and the Therapeutic Applied Gaming Group Summit, something like that, tags. I don't know. So I got a few folks that have spoken up and said they wanted to help. And if you were interested in that, then hit me up on Twitter. It's Insanity TTRPG, like it is everywhere else. And keep your eyes peeled, because I'm going to be posting a big, compiled safety tool document with some stuff fleshed out a little bit more, and some stuff kind of broken down in different ways. So that's going to be really cool when it comes out, but that's still a work in progress, but it will be here soon. And yeah, I think that's most of my stuff right now. Yeah. As far as favorite part. Okay. I like being a crawdad ripping somebody's arm off. I'm a simple man. It was great.
amazing.
It was great. Yeah, no, absolutely fantastic. And the dice tonight, can't touch them.
Awesome. Next, let's hop over to M. What was your favorite part? Where can folks find you? Anything you want to share or talk about?
Favorite part? Yeah, the clutch net 20s. That Demon Witch Queen reveal. Wow, that escalated quickly. Also, the return of the Mud Hag, and business or pleasure. I guess that's Marosa's new nickname. Gosh, it's hard to pick just one. Also, poor Grin just lying on the ground, like, yeah, I guess this is just my life now. But yeah, I'm Emily. You can find me at Timberdoodles on Twitter. I'm a digital artist, and I will be back here next session. I am kind of terrified, but also really hyped. It's good to be back.
Awesome. Par, what was your favorite part? Where can folks find you? And anything you want to share or plug?
I fully agree on it being hard to choose a favorite part, so I choose the whole thing. This whole thing is great. I'm so glad we're all back together. Hell of a time playing this campaign with you all. So the whole thing is my favorite part. 2023, starting off well. Truly kick ass. You can find me on Twitter at Mr. Par40. You can find me on YouTube at Mr. Par. You can find me on Twitch at Mr. Par. And I think that's where you can find me. I don't have anything else to promote. So, hey, it's just great to be here.
Awesome. Next, Ian, what was your favorite part? Where can folks find you? Anything you want to share or plug?
Oh man. I think you know what my favorite part outside of what everyone said was the fact that we're like back playing again. During the break, I went to the restroom and I could feel like my cheeks were sore because I was just smiling the whole time, just having so much fun. I can still I feel it right now. But yeah, no, I'm definitely excited to jump back into this next week. Just everything's been so cool. Of course, if I had to highlight a part, definitely the Oathie action scene, power hammer down is just perfect. Again, with the beautiful dice rolls and everything, it just played out so well. But yeah, you guys, again, my name is Ian. You can find me on all social medias at your boy Big, which is YABOIBIG. And yeah, of course, I'll be here next Tuesday. On Sundays, I'll be on the Magic RPG channel for their second season of their Icewind Dale campaign, where I play a tiefling bard, Kamara, who just figured out that he has spirit powers. Woo! So we're excited for that. And then just follow me on my Twitter for like updates and stuff. I got some cool things coming out within the first quarter of the new year. So excited for that too. Hopefully some GM spots you'll see me kind of hosting, so that'll be fun. I'm excited for that. So sweet.
I'm also excited for that. That's awesome. And then next, Anna, what was your favorite part? Where can folks find you? And then anything you want to share or talk about?
That is me. I mean, Othie's action shot was amazing. And that almost 80 points of damage. Wonderful. Love to see it. But then also, a little selfishly, Bullface lying to a demon lord.
It was so good.
Oh, I was so nervous through that. And I love that the dice allowed me to do that. That was amazing. I can't believe I actually did that. But yeah, I'm Anna, aka Archival Dust Bunny, most places on the internet, queer and trans advocate, museum worker, and TTRPG streamer and podcaster. If any of that sounds interesting, you can find me on Twitter and most other social media at Archival Dust Bunny. As far as where to find me, A lot of games are coming up, but the ones that are currently running on Saturdays, you can find me on Dexter 19's channel for Dragon Riders of Aome, our Quest actual play. I'm following a bunch of young dragon riders and their dragons as we try to stop the end of the world, is what this has turned into. It escalated very quickly in the mid-season finale. We are in way over our heads, and it's a great show with great cast, equal parts wholesome and adventurous. You really should check it out. All of the VODs are available, and it's definitely worth the watch. Our Masks game on Thorny Dryad's channel, U-Force Inheritance, is back this month on the 22nd. We pick up in a very tense spot where I might be about to punch a team member because of things that happened last session. If you like drama and romance with your teen superheroes, you should check it out. We have 4 episodes, I think, up as VOD on Thorny Dryad's channel. Really amazing cast. I play Protege with far too much responsibility on her shoulders. Yeah, and it is all around a fun time. On the 26th, you can find me over on Lost Caravan with Hometown Holiday, the Hallmark-esque Christmas TTRPG. We're doing that as part of the end of the charity stream this month with Space Jammer DMing that. It's going to be a lot of fun. Lots of giveaways during it as well. If sci-fi or podcast more your thing, you can always find me on Response Team Omnicron, our Lancer Actual Play podcast. But the big thing I wanted to mention is that Emergent Code, our upcoming Animon Story podcast, is now casting. The casting form is live. You can find it on Emergent Code's Twitter page at Emergent Code Pod. I've retweeted as well, as Andy has as well, who is going to be the GM of this. Andy, as you know from watching the show, is an amazing GM, and it's going to be a very fun time. Our cast will be split. Half will be playing the Animon, half the kids, as we homebrew parts of this system to try and tell a really, really unique story based on stories like Digimon Tamers, Digimon Survive, and Strange Worlds. So find that casting call if you are interested. So watch my Twitter. Lots of things coming up. Animorph Season 2 is coming up on Valdrian's channel. And a couple of other things I can't talk about yet.
Awesome. And that just leaves me, my favorite part. The getting to do the whole hammer sequence thing. I've gone for some big plays over the course of the campaign, and most of them didn't really quite pan out. So doing the big epic flavor text in there and then having it actually go off was just so satisfying. It was so good, but also giant crawdad just going to town, snipping at this thing. I kind of pictured a giant Zoidberg doing the snipping. And yeah, the witch demon lord and everything. This whole session was really cool. There was lots of really good stuff. Let's see where you can find me next. Saturday, we should have our next episode of Animus. Fingers crossed. With the holidays and illnesses, it's been a while since we've had a session because things just keep coming up at the worst possible timing. So I'm really excited to get back to that because we are, I think, in our final story arc for that particular campaign. So it's going to be some really, really cool stuff happening there. Aside from that, other places you can find me is Start Playing Games. Start Playing .games. I'll throw the link into chat here. I am doing professional GMing over there through Ravenflight Games. I have a campaign starting. I've mostly just been doing one-shots, but I'm starting up a long-form campaign called Badlands of Time. And it is a D&D 5th edition game that is set in a future sort of post-apocalyptic setting. A lot of time traveling involved in the campaign, a lot of horror elements, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So that's starting Thursday at 6:30 p.m. Mountain Time, and will happen every Thursday after that. If you would like to sign up, it's startplaying.game/gm/RAVYN. There is a link there where you can sign up for the campaign, and it's going to be a lot of fun. Other things to share or plug is our sponsors, which I just put into chat. The first one being Fundamental RPG, which is a simple D20 system. It's not tied to a genre, so you can use it to play anything from high fantasy to sci-fi and everything in between. That is the system that I designed. And in light of current events in the tabletop community, I'm going to start working on a more formal structure to where if other people want to create things in that they will be able to do so. And it definitely will be nothing like 20 to 25% royalties and other horrible things like we've been hearing about. So if that sounds interesting to you, feel free to shoot me an email or a DM on Twitter or Hive. It's the same. My Twitter and Hive are the same name. Yeah, we can talk about that. Because it's a really cool system, and I would really love to work with more people on making some really cool content for that. Our other sponsors are Ravenflight Games, which I already talked about some. And then we're also affiliated with Die Hard Dice. You can use the code BlackFeather over at dieharddice.com to get 10% off. And they have amazing dice. They've made a Blackfeather Guild setup dice in the past that are absolutely gorgeous. And they're really good people over there. So go check that out. And I think that is everything I needed to cover. Go check out Children and Champions of the Fae. It's a really cool supplement that we're using for this campaign. There's a link there in chat. And then if you want to help support this cast, all these wonderful people, there is a link there in chat as well for a page on my coffee shop where you can donate directly to help pay the cast. I think that's everything. So we're going to go on a raid here. Let's see who is still online. Looks like Perception Studio. They have some really cool stuff over there. Let's go say hello. And then I will see you all on Saturday. Bye, everybody.